Got some sweet ones here. Damara's Pit Guard is pretty strong. This card is a solid underdrop, and it's going to be good whenever you should draw it or play it. War Tinker is a cute one. Guardians Assemble, I think, is like absolutely horrible. But the other card that we're looking at here is Uranti Storm Shaper. This card is pretty powerful. The level 1 can be a little underwhelming, but the level 3 is actually just game ending. And card's really strong, so we're going to pick it up. I'm sure you've seen it in draft and lost to it before, and also played it to much accord. It's kind of interesting to be in. I'm kind of trying to get out of the mindset right now of mono faction drafts. That's where we were at this weekend, and those were a lot of fun. But now we get to draft multiple factions, and we can either not pick something to then be in Utera, which Utera does kind of work with this. This is a combo with Harbinger of Springs, which it's like one of the only Tempe's cards that is a combo with Harbinger of Springs, but it's real good with Harbinger of Springs. So that's something worth keeping in mind. We could grab Uranti Warbringer or Blight Skull Phantasm if we just want to take the most powerful cards in the pack. I think we will grab Warbringer Uranti. They're both Yetis, too. I don't think there's any Yeti synergies going on. Now, what does this do? Ooh, this gives a creature +3/+3, which is already reasonable, and then the Oros ability. That's pretty cool, and I don't have any for constructed, so I believe I don't have any. Let me take a look. Nope, I've got a bunch of other different embraces, but zero Wegu's Embrace. So part of the idea behind draft is you use it to build your collection, so I think we snap off this new heroic. It doesn't seem that bad. I think this card could be reasonable, and I think there's unlikely to be any synergies with it unless we happen to open up a Wegu, but we'll take Wegu's Embrace. That seems pretty sweet. We could slap a Wegu's Embrace on an Ashurian Mystic. We could also grab a Flamestoke Shaman. Flamestoke is pretty good and a solid underdrop, so I like it as well, but this is pretty good. Some pump for Ashurian Mystic. That seems good enough to me. So we'll take that, grab Venom Drinker, or we can grab Stonebrand. I actually think Stonebrand is pretty okay. It's not great with Uranti Stormshaper because you want this card to actually have Defender, though +5/+5 on a 0/9 gives you a 5/14. That's a pretty reasonable card, so we'll take that off. Hive Empress with already kind of 2 aggressive creatures, I think that seems pretty sweet. The Wirewood Ranger is also good. Cordrasian Stoneback is pretty good. So is Bright Tusk Sower, Flame Rift Instigator. Flame Rift Instigator I would probably rank after Wirewood Ranger, and Wirewood Ranger be the next most powerful card in the pack. But Hive Empress is sweet. There's going to be some synergies with it, and I think this is a deck where we can actually kind of play towards turning poison on. And you could take things like Aether Wolves, and that's going to make Hive Empress trigger and be a pretty sweet combination. However, you can't not take Wirewood Patriarch. This card is just the bomb diggity. It's not the bee's knees. That would probably have to go to Hive Empress, just because, you know, right here, there's some bee knees. But other than that, Wirewood Patriarch is real good for a lot of reasons. It's just great on pumping up under-leveled cards. It's great on pumping up some weak cards, stat-wise, like Uranti Stormshaper and Warbringer Uranti. Also Ashurian Mystic. Holy jeez. Alright, well, this becomes a much easier pick when you look at the deck and you realize that Wirewood Patriarch actually pumps every single card that we've drafted so far. So That's pretty crazy. We're definitely going to snap off the Patriarch there. Then I think we're going to grab Venom Fang. Grove Huntress is also pretty good, but Venom Fang can get you out of some situations that Grove Huntress can't if you're willing to take a little bit of damage. We have Glowstride Stag for the life gain theme, but I don't really know what the payoffs are for life gain, if there are any. We can grab a Dendrify as an underdrop removal spell. I think that's reasonable. The other cards are also reasonable underdrops, and I could see taking Steam Sentinel or Pterodon Mauler here. Steam Sentinel obviously being good with the Stone brand that we already picked up. You know what, let's take Steam Sentinel. That seems fine. I'm not a huge fan of that card, but I think it might work. We can grab an underdrop that overloads here with Burnout, 8 damage to a creature or player, or Stag of Liss, some more random life gain. This card's got reasonable stats. It's fine, and then slightly under, and then good, I would say. However, I think I'm just going to take Burnout. I think we've got enough cards that are good to level, so let's grab some underdrops here, and Burnout is a pretty good underdrop. And then speaking of underdrops, we get the choice of either Shimmerfang Serpent, Ice Shard Berserker, Aether Wolves, or Roaming Warclaw. All of these are really good underdrops, but also just good cards. Ice Shard Berserker and Shimmerfang Serpent, as well as the Raptor token, also all get pumped by Wirewood Patriarch. This deck is looking real good. This is a pretty close pick between a few different things. I don't think I want to grab the underdrop here. I think I want to grab a Roaming Warclaw to try to turn on Hive Empress. Maybe that's crazy. Shimmerfang Serpent also just isn't going to be blocked. It's going to stick around. Same thing with Ice Shard Berserker, though I think Shimmerfang is just slightly more powerful. So, yeah, I think I'm going to take Shimmerfang here, and I think that that is still kind of a combo with Hive Empress. I think we can still make that work. I'll take a Harbinger of Spring. Now I'm definitely going to want to lead towards stuff like wolves and other things that create things in multiple lanes. This guy's allied Utera, still not really good enough. And then we have a aggressive creature, which could also be good with the Hive Empress, but Harbinger of Spring, I think, will work pretty well within the deck. Grove Matriarch works with Harbinger of Spring, but I still don't think it's more powerful than Stonefist Giant. I think we can get away with Stonefist Giant here. It does work with Wirewood Patriarch. We don't want all of our cards to work with Wirewood Patriarch because then we won't have any underdrops, but I think we have a nice balance. Frost Shatter Strike and Swamp Moss Lurker are great underdrops as well. This is a pretty good pack, but I think we can afford to take a priority level after grabbing Venom Fang, Steam Sentinel, Burnout, and Shimmerfang Serpent, all as solid underdrop cards. Wegu's Embrace is probably also an underdrop card, or going to function as one. I think I'll take Magma Hound here over Shimmerfang Serpent. Both pretty close, but Magma Hound affects multiple lanes, so we'll grab that, pick that up. Warbringer Uranti, I'm going to grab that as well. Resigned Strength is pretty good. It's a reasonable underdrop, but when in doubt, I'm just going to take the card that affects multiple lanes here. And we've got a few options for affecting multiple lanes with this pick. We can grab Chaos Twister, which affects multiple lanes. If your opponent has formation, it deals 6 damage to all the creatures in the formation. And we could grab Grove Huntress, which is a solid pump. We don't have any Grove Huntresses yet. Or I could grab a Torrent Soldier. So Torrent Soldier is kind of like a Venom Fang. I think that's a pretty apt comparison. And we took Venom Fang over Grove Huntress, so I think I'm going to do the same pick here. It's slightly worse on level 1. It's not as good as a functioning underdrop. I'm not sure how heavy I want to draft into Harbinger of Spring, but I don't want to take Bright Tusk Sower here. I think it's between Grove Huntress, Torrent Soldier, and Chaos Twister. I don't tend to need Chaos Twisters that much, as I'm like kind of ahead already. But we take a Bright Tusk Sower here. This is a great pickup for a Bright Tusk. There. Grab a Frost Shatter Strike or a Warbringer Uranti. Both are kind of the same. Could also grab a Pterodon Mauler, though I don't like the card as much. I'm going to take a Frost Shatter Strike. I think... We're bringing Aranti's kind of cool with Wirewood Patriarch. Frost Shatter Strike, the numbers on it are a little bit better. Yeah, we'll take Frost Shatter Strike. That's fine. And then I guess I'll grab a Chisel Hearth Hunter. Nothing too crazy here, but yeah, we'll take a Hunter. I'll take another Stone Brand, I think, over a Flame Jet. Steals 5, 12, 18 damage to a creature. Those numbers are pretty good. Maybe we take Flame Jet here. Maybe we don't need another Stone Brand. Though Stone Brand, I mean, we've got 2 things that it potentially works with. But you also only need 1 in your deck. Your opponent's not going to kill your defenders that you need to pump them up right away. So we'll take a Flame Jet. That seems reasonable. We could grab a Chaos Twister here. How does this guy level? He levels reasonably, but nothing I want to get too crazy over. And this guy... Okay, we could make some weird synergies happen here. When we gain health, we start making seedlings, saplings, and tree folks, all of which are 3/3s, but their names just change for some inexplicable reason. Yeah, I don't love it. We could grab another aggressive creature. I don't think that's unreasonable, but I'm just going to grab Stonefist Giant. This card's really good if you get to the late game with him, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to be pretty happy with it. And I'm going to take Magma Hound. I'm kind of just completely neglecting Harbinger of Spring here. We had the opportunity, I think, to go a little bit more all in on it, including some of the picks that we made before we even saw the Harbinger of Spring. I'm kind of just taking the best card in every pack, and I'm not really grabbing the cool cards and sweet synergies. I'm going to take Grove Matriarch here. It's just the best card. Synergies be damned. We're just drafting good cards here. That's all we're doing. Staggerless, Firemane Steed, both kind of meh. Both mediocre level 2s. Firemane Steed's got the more mediocre level 1 and level 2. I think we are more likely to want Staggerless here than Firemane Steed. We have a lot of creatures that are already priority levels. I don't think we have to do anything other than that. So... Raid Trigger. What is a more powerful raid trigger? Getting a Relentless Wanderer, which can just kind of end the game by itself. This card's really strong. Or Hive Empress, which can just kind of end the game by itself. It's really strong. That's tricky. What raid trigger do we want? I think I'm going to take Relentless Wanderer. I think you can kind of get away with playing this card more, though this card works and you don't have to level it. So maybe that's the reason to play Hive Empress. Alright, we're going to take Hive Empress here. We're just going to try to get raid. So I think I am going to take Lightning Tamer. As crazy as that is, this card is not that bad on player level 1, and it works. It does some things. It's really not great. It's not where you want to be at all. But if we can get that... If we can get that raid trigger on Hive Empress, I'm pretty confident I can win the game from there just by playing stall tactics and not worrying about anything else that we do. So we'll get a little bit far behind on player level 1 and then play catch up from there. That seems reasonable to me. Poison Coil, Fangwood Bear, Grove Huntress. We have a lot of things that deal poison already. We don't really want to stack up that many defender creatures, and we don't have any Grove Huntresses yet. Fangwood Bear is real good, but I'm just going to take Grove Huntress. I think that will work out well for us as well. And I'm going to take Wind Primordial. Maybe it can push through some damage. Maybe it can just be an underdrop. And then Stonefist Giant to round it out. I think we've got a good deck here. We're going to try to win with Hive Empress. That card always beats me. And I think we've built a deck where I can play for Hive Empress just a little bit more. The fact that I've got 2 of them means that I can kind of set up my plays where I'm like, all right, well, I'll play like this, and then if I draw Hive Empress next turn, we just kind of win the game 10 turns from now. So that's the goal. Poison them, and then win somewhere down the line. I think we can make that work. We're not going to lead off with Lightning Tamer, obviously. We're going to play that only alongside a Grove Empress. Here, I think we just play Wirewood Ranger and then our choice of Grove Matriarch or Stag of Lys. Grove Matriarch seems pretty good, though. Oh, Uranti Stormshaper. Very interesting. Well, if we play Wirewood Ranger open lane, there's a 1 in 4 chance it just dies to Uranti Stormshaper. If we play Wirewood Ranger in front of Uranti Stormshaper, then there's a pretty decent chance they can just kill it by dealing 4 damage to it, and then we haven't touched their Uranti Stormshaper. We could also Lightning Tamer the Uranti Stormshaper. That means they'll only get 1 Lightning Worm out of it. The Lightning Tamer is real easy to kill. So I don't think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to go Wirewood Ranger here. Grove Matriarch, open lane. This will make them have to deal with this. Have to deal with the Wirewood Ranger by playing a spell, which I think can benefit us. Got Grove Huntress, Magma Hound, and a Uranti Stormshaper of our own. Yeah, Grove Huntress, or Grove Matriarch rather, is also good with the raid. Just being able to keep incidental creatures on board, like this 1/1 Seedling, does help get your raid on. And they do have the Frost Shatter Strike. That's really unfortunate. And we don't have any ways with which to kill this. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate turn of events here. I think we Magma Hound, we pop this, and then we Uranti Stormshaper ourselves in an open lane. We could also... Yeah, this, if they deal with the Magma Hound, we still have a, like, 1 in 4, 1 in 3 to make our own Uranti Stormshaper. We're hoping that their Lightning Worm doesn't spawn in lane 2. If it does, we did get a Magma Hound to deal with their Lightning Worm. We're still hoping it doesn't wind up there. Alright, it does. This might turn out to be fine. We can also Warbringer Uranti and Magma Hound their Uranti Stormshaper. Or do some Wegu's Embrace plays. It's pretty unlucky for us, though, for sure. They go for another Frost Shatter Strike. And that's going to grow their Lightning Worm. Will they also pump the Lightning Worm? They will. Wow. Alright, so some pretty strong plays from my opponent here. They are not going to let me do anything fun. So I can play Warbringer Uranti or Magma Hound to change the course of battle over here. And then I could play Magma Hound or Shimmerfang Serpent right here. I think we play Uranti Warbringer and then Magma Hound as our two underdrops. We're not really playing for the raid plays, but my opponent is just continually destroying whatever we put in front of Uranti Stormshaper, which I think means that we're leveling better cards. We are most assuredly leveling better cards if we also play these Stone Fist Giants, or even Venom Fang. But my opponent has played, I think, 3 spells, and we have played, no, I think they've played 2 spells, right? Yeah, they played, I mean, their spells have been Frost Shatter Strikes, more often than not. So that's a pretty good spell. Yeah, they played a Frost Shatter Strike, and they played a Frost Shatter Strike, and they played a Uranti Stormshaper. So, my opponent has played pretty reasonable cards. The Frost Shatter Strikes aren't bad, but they haven't played anything super threatening. So, if we can make it out to the late game here, I think we can put a hurting on them. Alright, and those cards obviously are not threats. This is going to make one more Lightning Worm and then die. So we can go Stonefist Giant, and we're guaranteed to, like, eat up the Lightning Worm. That kind of puts us in a weird place with these Wind Primordials. But I don't think I hate it. We could also poison Uranti Stormshaper to guarantee that it dies. No combat tricks, no shenanigans. To be honest, I don't hate that either. I think we put Stonefist Giant here. We'll roll a 50-50 that Lightning Worm will spawn right here. We're going to go Venom Fang, clean up Swamp Moss, clean up Uranti Stormshaper, even if they deal with our dog here. Then we're hoping for the 50-50, and then we are going to take solace in the fact that we have leveled more powerful cards than my opponent. We miss on the 50-50, but meh, we're still okay. As long as they don't lead off this player level with another Uranti Stormshaper, I think we will be okay. But yeah, Uranti Stormshaper is a pretty decent card. Now you guys can see exactly what it can do, and that's why we first picked it. Uranti Stormshaper is pretty busted. The level 1 can sometimes do a lot of work, like in this scenario. Does my opponent have Raid right now? Are they going to poison us? Alright, they do have Raid, but they're not going to poison us. They're going to save their Swamp Moss Lurker, it looks like. No, they're going to kill our Magma Hound. Alright, I don't agree with that play. Then they're going to Venom Fang and trade off there. That sounds fine to me. So I can play Lightning Tamer to deal with this 7-6. I think I will. Though this 6-4 is dealing a lot more damage. I don't actually even have to play Lightning Tamer. I guess I won't. There's no reason to play it. Let's just play... I mean, these two cards are dealing the most damage to me. They are the least threatening things on the board, but they're hitting me for the most life points. So I guess I'll just take out these things and just level the two best cards in my deck. I could also level Stag of Liss so that I gain some health back instead of Stonefist Giant. I'm just going to play Stonefist Giant, though, and Grove Huntress to level the strongest cards. It might be relevant. Here it seems like we might actually need some additional lanes. We have Uranti Stormshaper and Harbinger of Spring combo, so we're doing it. What would be really sweet is if my opponent plays an 8 health creature right here. I can Frost Shatter Strike the Venom Fang and the Stonefist Giant. I think I will still be making that play, and then playing Uranti Stormshaper in an open lane. Level 2 Lightning Worms are... trying to read level 2 Lightning Worm. Not sure if I can. Alright, well, level 2 Lightning Worms, I believe, are 7/5 aggressive creatures. So, those will knock out whatever else we're working with here. And we'll find out soon enough. But this is a solid board clear. And the cards in my hand are also really, really solid board clear cards. So, I think we've cleared the board. Now we just have to worry about dealing with whatever my opponent puts in front of my Uranti Stormshaper, and we can play the same game that they were playing. I can Venom Fang, give it 4 poison, Magma Hound, deal 4 damage. So if they block with an 8 health creature, which they did, then we get to kill it. What was "you cannot" in reference to, Kaleri? I am not sure. This is going to get minus, or this is only going to hit for 4. This is fine. So we'll give this 4 poison and hit it for 4 damage. I'm just going to block off the rest of my stuff that my opponent is doing. Trade off boards. Oh, okay. Is that a bug that I can't view Lightning Worm? I feel like I should be able to, right? Is that a crazy thought to think? Looks like we will get our raid trigger next turn, and I think we'll still be able to play the Wirewood Ranger in addition to that. So that is pretty sweet. Okay, If I can view it through the log, but not through the card, that sounds like a bug to me. But I'm pretty sure we just spawned one. It's a 7/5, and then either a 10/7 or an 11/7 or something like that. We'll figure it out. Hive Empress go. I could also burnout here. Is burnout better than the other stuff that we were doing? I definitely like the Hive Empress play. Let's put some poison on him. This is just going to kill my guy. Fuck it. Let's burn him out. That's just going to give me another lightning worm. Oh, I can view through this lightning worm. So it is an 11/8 aggressive. Yeah, Solforge Client has a few bugs in it. That's fine with me. I was pretty sure I knew what the card does. And I'm sure, like, when you draft the card, or if you just want to view it in, like, on the card, like the card database in the client, then you're fine. And yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we drew the Wirewood Ranger again, so I guess we got punished for our play. But now we can just like Frost Shatter Strike and Magma Hound whatever 13 health creature they put there. So I don't know. Just keep those things going, and just keep making lightning worms, right? I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I don't know exactly how my opponent will get out of this one. Obviously, something like a Chaos Twister would be really good for them here. Yeah, Burnout and Wirewood would have given us a better board state, though I really wanted to just put a Hive Empress and give them 2 poison. Obviously, when you play Hive Empress, you are not playing for board state because the card isn't that great on board. But I think our board was good enough. Like, this now, our opponent's just dead to this. They just can't beat this. And we can even, if they're not killing it, which they're not doing again here, we can play a Shuri and Mystic, and now we have a raid trigger again. So now our opponent's getting 4 poison each turn, and I'll just play Magma Hound instead of Wirewood Ranger because this game is pretty much over. Now they've got 4 poison, and I don't know how they come back from that. That's probably going to seal the nail in the coffin here. Yeah, to be honest, though, I didn't see the burnout. That hand was really good. The hand had Hive Empress 1. Hive Empress, or Wirewood... What's it card? The pump guy. Wirewood Ranger was the only... Well, that dies to... Warbringer Yoranti? No, it doesn't die to Warbringer Yoranti. It dies to... We could make it die, potentially, but... Oh, jeez. We also just don't need to make it die. Our opponent needs to find a way to survive here. And... don't really think they can. So this is, like, pretty much dead. Regardless, what can we do? Is there anything crazy weird we can do here? Obviously, we're going to hit my opponent for 25. We could hit them for a little bit more, 8 more with Warbringer Yoranti, so 33. That's half of their life total. I don't think there's anything crazy we can do. This hits us for twice the amount of damage. I think twice the amount of damage is still fine. We'll just go like this. And play a Stonefist Giant open laned. Yeah, if we brand it, then it just dies, like, right now. Then we could have Magma Hound this. Leaves us with, like, pretty much the same board state. I guess I could have branded it just to say that I branded our Yoranti Stormweaver. Maybe that would have been worth it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would have been a worthwhile play there. So yeah, the hand was Wirewood Ranger 2, Hive Empress, Ashurian Mystic, Burnout, and then another card, which I also didn't see because the hand just had, like, so many plays to it. I don't think playing Wirewood Ranger would have been wrong, but I think getting the poison on my opponent is a worthwhile trade for the board state. Solforge is an interesting game where you trade damage on your life total for a better board state, better cards in your deck, better things like that. And you're always weighing those two things. Alright, he can pump to grow here, which is one of the ways that he wins. Deals battle damage on either turn. Alright, we got a game here, boys. We're going to take a shitload of damage, and then we're going to take a shitload more. Though we're going to hit my opponent for 20. All we have to do is not die here. I'm not going to do too much math. I'm just going to do this, press the battle button. We'll play Stag, but we have lethal. All we have to do is end the turn and not die. Came pretty close. The matchup is a little bit who sees their Storm Shapers more, but it also isn't just that. And I know you threw the cap in there, but I do want to address that. I didn't win just because I drew Storm Shaper and they didn't. One of the other things that was going on in that game was my opponent spent the entirety of their player level 1 leveling underdrop statted creatures with high attack and low defense, and leveling cards like Frost Shatter Strike. And those were the only cards that my opponent leveled. So that by the time player level 2 rolled around, I was able to throw that same thing back on them. And if my opponent had drawn a Uranti Storm Shaper, I'm not even convinced my opponent had a good lane to place it in. I think that if my opponent had drawn a Uranti Storm Shaper, like there were multiple times where I just had all of the lanes filled and lightning worms were going to be spawning in the lanes that I didn't have filled. So I do recognize that I drew a really powerful card, and my opponent had the answer for it in player level 1, but not in player level 2. But yeah, I think that was a little bit as a result of the plays. This game, however, is just me drawing Uranti Storm Shaper and winning the game because of it. I won't deny you that for this game. So I'm going to play Uranti Storm Shaper on the side lane here. I can Stonefist Giant. I'm not totally sure. Oh, you know what I do? I do this combo. This is sweet. This is sweet. I don't know if it's good or not, but this is sweet. This will be fun. Yeah, this is cool. And if my opponent blocks with a 4 health creature, I can Magma Hound it. Ooh, they got the Grave Pact. Well, that's going to be a little unfortunate, because now we leveled Harbinger of Spring instead of the other thing that we could have leveled. But this, we're not totally boned here. I think I will play Grove Huntress to pump it up, and then I'm going to block my opponent's dude with a Torrent Soldier. They can battle and move, or they can play some kind of combat trick, but we've got 3 6s to finish this off if they battle and move. So a little bit punished. My opponent goes Nexus Overwatch side lane. A-okay with me. We've got 5 good cards in this hand. I think my opponent's going to battle move. They're going to Technosmith for the trade there. And do they use the mobility? They do not. Alright, so Stonefist Giant, Wirewood Ranger. I'm going to play some Stonefist Giants. We already, yeah, Gloom Reaper Witch is definitely something to keep in mind. Coal of the Week might not even be in the draft pool anymore. We're just going to play some Stonefist Giants, give us some big meaty creatures. Our opponent here has leveled a Metamind Explorer. That is not something that we care too much about. I guess I should have played for Hive Empress a little bit more if I just didn't block here. Alright, gotta keep that in mind. I kind of got off the Hive Empress mindset. But change that around kind of quickly. So these are going to trade because they don't have the allied trigger. So that's fine. What else do we want to do? I think we want to play Bright Tusk Sower. One to level Bright Tusk Sower, and then also to potentially have raid on next turn. So we'll do this, get our raid ready, and then Chisel Hearth Hunter for a trade in the center lane. Stonefist Giant and Magma Hound. Well, those are pretty good cards. We'll see how they line up here. Trying to think of some things that my opponents could possibly play. They could play a Technosmith 2 across from this. That would be good dog food for me. Go for Graveborn Glutton for a trade. That's respectable. And a Zithian Direhound, shrinking my Chisel Hearth Hunter. Well, Dog can't even trade with that, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Dog can just trade with this. I think I'm going to Stonefist Giant block, though. That's tricky, because my opponent has now in their deck... Oh, it was a Zithian Direhound. It wasn't... Alright, that's why. So my opponent in their deck has a level 2 Nexus Pilot and a level 2 Nexus Technician? Nexus Overwatch. Nexus Overwatch. So, for that reason, I kind of just want to dodge in the center lane, and I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to put a Grove Matriarch on Zithian Direhound. We've got a Spring Dryad coming up, and we also have that other thing in our deck. What's it called? The Hive Empress. So, potentially make some Hive Empress plays. Alright, that's going to kill our Stonefist Giant. This is a pretty good card. Maybe I have not respected this card enough, but yeah, just gave it -5/-5. It's really all it did, but -5/-5 is decent enough. I could Wirewood Patriarch to trade in the center lane and buff this up irrelevantly. I don't love it, but I do like trading in the center lane with a 1-drop creature. It gets us some marginal value there. We will want to kill this before my opponent ranks up so that they get the Vengeance trigger on this player level and not the next one. But we don't have to do that yet. We're just going to play a Stonefist Giant open lane here. We get the Bright Tusk Sower because we didn't play open... Should I just be open laning everything and hoping to draw Hive Empress? I guess so. I guess that's really the play. But we'll get there. Like, if we just keep growing wide like this with the Grove Matriarch, the Bright Tusk Sower, we can get Hive Empress next turn. We've still got another one in the deck, along with a Lightning Tamer and an Ashurian Mystic. So I might... no, but if I draw your Storm Shaper, I'm going to want to play that instead of Hive Empress there. So that gets the regen trigger because my opponent is a Nixium. And then we have a Technome for a supposed trade. I'm going to change the trade into a positive battle with a Stonefist Giant block, and then I'm going to play Bright Tusk Sower and have the plant trade with Metamind Explorer. That will mean that my opponent also draws their cards after combat on the turn. Though I could also Warbringer Aranti here and kill a Nixium Marauder. I think I actually like that better. These are already going to trade. I think I'd rather my opponent not level any cards. That is pretty close. Pretty close, and there's only marginal utility in my opponent leveling cards into the next player level, but with the fact that we're going to have them draw more cards too, yeah, let's not let them level any more cards, because my opponent is already going to draw an additional 2 cards this turn. So, yeah, if we let them level more cards, they're going to be pretty good into the next player level. We're just going to trade some things off here. Yeah, I didn't open myself up for any Hive Empress plays. We're just trying to play good cards here. Play Grove Huntress to trade with this. Let's see what they level. We'll find out in a second. I am not sure if I want to trade my Chiselhearth Hunter with the Nexus Overwatch. I think I do. It doesn't affect Raid. They are going to level up and see new cards. Let's see, what did they level? Aloyan Strategist. Yeah, I guess that means they could draw Aloyan Strategist and kind of punish us here. So we'll threaten off an Aloyan Strategist with a Grove Huntress in lane 2. Yeah, this is still reasonable. We battle this guy. They can't put Aloyan Strategist in lane 4. They can put it in lane 2, in which case we threaten it off by being able to draw a dog or something to be able to kill Aloyan Strategist. Yeah, dog and Warbringer Uranti are both going to be able to kill the strat. Though we also have Bright Tusk Sower and Uranti Stormshaper. So they just play that. This needs a total of 12 more damage to get finished off. This is going to be a trade. This is a trade, though we could dog here. We could dog, and that keeps our battle moving. Is dog better? So if I play dog, I've got an 8-3 and a 4-3. If I play Bright Tusk Sower, I've got a 10-10 and a 5-5. Those are both pretty comparable plays. Yeah, you can see how close that is. I think I want to level the card. 10-10 and a 5-5. How much better is a non-active 10-10 and a non-active 5-5 better than an active 8-3 and a non-active 4-3? They're really, really similar. I could also put damage on this. If I put 5 damage on it, then it dies to... I guess 5 damage on Technome is pretty good. Alright, we'll go for 5 damage on Technome. Though I could also not put 5 damage on Technome, and then Raid is a live draw. Alright, I'm going to change my play again. We're going to play for a Hive Empress. Next turn, we'll have 3 creatures attacking. There's our Hive Empress, so we get pretty rewarded here. And then we have a Stonefist Giant to kind of clean things up, or a Burnout to protect our dude. Looks like Burnout isn't going to protect our guy. Nexus Pilot is going to eat our 5-5 there, but we're going to get a Hive Empress trigger. And puts us a little bit behind, but ultimately, I think this is okay. Yeah, we're just going to be able to poison my opponent here, and then we're going to hope that that is enough to carry us. So this will go down to 5 attack. This will go down to 10. I could just replace Uranti Stormshaper. I think that's the play. These cards are already both damaged. I just need a level 1 to finish this off, and a level 2 to finish this off. So I'm going to play Hive Empress, and then I'm going to block with Stonefist Giant on my opponent's Metamind Explorer. We're going to take 29 damage, but my opponent is going to take 2 poison. And 2 poison, I mean, that hopefully that's more than 29 damage. We'll count it up here. I think it is likely to be more than 29 damage, as a result of how many turns are still left in this game. And my opponent positive battles there. That's fine. We have the cleanup. Now we're just going to play cleanup crew here. We're still going to hit my opponent for 21, though, on my turn. So, that's still pretty good. We can put Stag of Liss here or Harbinger of Spring here. They're both, like, kind of meh. I'll put Harbinger of Spring here, though, and then Stonefist Giant in the center lane. We're going to lose our guy. Hit our opponent for 20 damage, actually, not 21. Miscalculated there. then our guy dies. But, yeah, we're good. We didn't draw an aggressive creature with this Hive Empress, but we've dealt 6 damage now through our poison. I'm going to just write down some tally marks here every time we poison them. I guess we poisoned them on our turn 3.2. Well, this pen just ran out of juice. 3.2, so we'll see if Hive Empress winds up dealing more damage. The Giant's going to trade. We can make Magma Hound trade. That seems reasonable. And then just play Grove Matriarch. Or we can make Grove Matriarch, Positive Battle, and then Wirewood Ranger open lane. Hope to draw a Hive Empress on the rank up. We'll have 2 Hive Empresses, and then we want to draw an aggressive creature as well. Yeah, I think Wirewood Ranger is actually good enough as an underdrop here, so let's do it like this. And Hive Empress, Ashurian Mystic. Man, we drew level 3 cards. That sucks, dude. I really hate when that kind of stuff happens, but no matter. We'll try not to get too peeved by it. That's now 10 poison damage we've dealt, I believe. They've got a chump block there. It's already a chump block, but we can make it more of a chump by activating Wirewood Ranger on their creature. Can Wirewood Patriarch this? I don't think that's good at all. I think we just open lane our creatures, and I think I will pump this guy though still. Because this guy now gets to deal 12 to whatever blocks it. Can either positive battle a 1/1, or it can trade with a level 2, or it can deal enough damage that Torrent Soldier can finish off a level 3. My opponent open lanes when they are very close to dying. I'm also kind of close to dying. I'm going to go down to 21 this turn. So the onus is on me to try to deal with my opponent's creatures here. But this should not be a problem at all. We get to go Grove Huntress, and I'm going to grow wide here. Let's actually check for lethal. I'm going to hit the battle button to check for lethal, see if my opponent drops down to 12. Or they wouldn't have to go down to 12, they'd have to go down to less than that. So we're going to go Torrent Soldier, and we're going to poison my opponent's creature. I don't think Burnout is a crazy play there either, but all my opponent would need would be a +8/+8 to kill me. So that is like a Bound Boy and a Matrix Warden, and they could block and kill me. Alright, well that's the first half of it. That's +3 attack, and if they can move over, give it +5 attack, they still die because they will take more damage than I will take. But good effort for my opponent. And let's move on to the next one. Aristocrat. Stonefist Giant. It's leveled up. Saw that card just do some work last game. Card is pretty strong. Venom Fang, Warbringer, and Magma Hound here, all as cards that affect multiple lanes. So that is pretty sweet. Cloud Cleaver Titan. And we've got a trade, but I can Magma Hound to just finish this guy off and then Venom Fang that. So that's what I'll go for. Put Magma Hound in the center lane. Oh, what am I doing? Alright. I kind of stopped thinking there for a second. I was thinking about other stuff. And so I was thinking maybe we want Venom Fang in the center lane rather than Magma Hound. And just like, while I was thinking, oh, did I just make a mistake? I just made an even worse mistake. So, yeah, gotta be careful of that. But it shouldn't be too big of a deal here. This poison guy is gonna get, or this guy's gonna get finished off via poison. We can. I don't actually know how we're gonna deal with this guy right here. Maybe we just don't care and we eat it up with a lightning worm. But yeah, I just want to throw Magma Hound in front of my opponent's Windborn Hellion. And then play Aranti Storm Shaper. So Storm Shaper has a decent chance to just finish off the Warhound Courser. The other thing I could have done was just hope that the Lightning Worm procced in front of the Windborn Hellion. But I think we'll have some pretty good plays here regardless. We don't have any kill spells or anything like that. Jeez Louise, my opponent's got a good one there. And my opponent plays an Aegis Wings to move their Windborn Hellion, growing it, and growing their Rageborn Hellion at the same time. So we got this proc, but it's not even good for us. Oh, geez. Alright, we want to block something here. Pretty sure that something is a Stone Fist Giant. Yeah, we can level Stone Fist Giant or Torrent Soldier. Both of which are going to be pretty good. It's really just what we want to level. Our other play has to be Grove Huntress. What's better, Stone Fist Giant or Torrent Soldier? I feel like we might not have enough time for Stone Fist Giant, and Torrent Soldier can help us get back a little bit more. So then what we do is we play Grove Huntress and we grow the Magma Hound. And by doing that, we are... if Windborn Hellion moves, it gets +1/+1, still dies to dog. If it doesn't move, it trades with Grove Huntress. So either way, that's going to be a trade. We can Frost Shatter Strike the Rageborn Hellion. Stone Brand might also do some work. Alright, as long as my opponent doesn't have a dog here. A dog would be really bad. So that would grow the Rageborn Hellion as well. A dog, or the worst thing... Alright, Matrix Warden's bad. Frost Shatter Strike would have been the absolute worst. Matrix Warden is actually comparable. It's comparable. Alright, so what can we do? We can Warbringer Uranti and Frost Shatter Strike. That's going to let us clear boards with our opponent. Can we do anything better than that? I don't think we can, because both of our opponent's creatures are pretty good. So let's just Warbringer Uranti, pump Torrent Soldier. That'll finish off the Frost Fang Maiden, and then we'll use Frost Shatter Strike to deal 8 more damage to the Hellion and clear off boards. That's why cards that affect multiple lanes are so strong there. And Frost Shatter Strike only affected one lane there, but it was still 8 points of damage for a level 1 spell. That's pretty good. That's burnout quality. An overload quality spell. Alright. Venom Fang, and what will they pump? Alright, they're gonna pump there. Venom Fang trades with this. If we just want to do that. How many more 6 power creatures do we have? We've got Stone Fist Giant, Magma Hound, these things, Torrent Soldiers, Lightning Tamer, Wind Primordial. I think we're going to not block this. Question is, how do we want to take this out? Let's just trade it with Venom Fang. And then play a Grove Huntress, open lane, pumping itself. Definitely other plays we could have made there. I think that's a reasonable play to make, though. Shimmerfang, Serpent, Wind Primordial, Steam Sentinel, and Burnout all trade with my opponent's level 1 card, so no matter. We will have to deal with this guy, though. This will persist with 7 health, so we'll either have to Burnout or Steam Sentinel that. If we Shimmerfang Serpent, it'll have 7 poison, it'll die in 2. That's probably not worth it. We can trade Wind Primordial with it. So, yeah, Wind Primordial or Steam Sentinel. We can play any of these 4 cards. And it just becomes a matter of which of these cards do we want to level / get out of our deck. Do I want to level up Burnout to get it out of our deck? I think we do. I think making our deck a little bit smaller here will benefit us. And then I want to level Wind Primordial. The other cards still get to exist as underdrops. And we trade those off. It's kind of tricky. That's really just a level preference play. Magma Hound can trade with Cloud Cleaver Titan if Cloud Cleaver doesn't decide to find a way to trade with Grove Huntress. Yeah, we still just trade with Cloud Cleaver here. We're going to lose our Grove Huntress. It's going to survive with 4 health. That's also annoying, though. But at the same time, it's not like we can keep this around. Oh, geez. That's a lot of... It's a lot of aggressive and a lot of legends for our opponent. So we have Magma Hound for the trade. Cloud Cleaver is going to hit us for a whole bunch of damage. Magma Hound for the positive battle, but then how do we soak it up? I think I'm just going to trade here and then play Uranti Stormshaper and have Uranti Stormshaper clean up the board next turn. So we are in a really tricky spot here if my opponent has Rageborn Hellion right before he ranks up. But I'm not sure there's much else I can do. We're hoping to get our guy... Frost Shadow Strike deals 7 regardless. So I guess we're hoping to get our Rageborn Hellion or our Lightning Worm wherever he places Rageborn Hellion. Though if he has Rageborn, he's going to place it in front of our Yeti again. Yeah, Rageborn's super strong. Nothing we can do about it, though, realistically. But oh boy, the legendaries. Oh boy, the legendaries. Though those aren't really the cards that are killing us. I mean, they're good. The one legendary did get us pretty far behind. Frost Shatter Strike, we... Oh, that's unfortunate. They're going to pump up this guy's attack, or they're just going to get in more damage on their dog. They are going to pump up this guy's attack. That's not going to be lethal. Means that we Frost Shatter Strike to kill Koruk and extend the Lightning Worm's battle. And then we trade this with a Wirewood Ranger. Okie dokie. Alright, Magma Hound, real good. Magma Hound will be able to eat Frostfang Maiden and kill Warhound Courser, or potentially kill a 1-drop that they play here. And then we are just hoping to hold on for 1 second longer so that we can play Uranti Stormshaper. That play scares me, though. The fact that my opponent just sent that open lane That means they're going to put 12 more damage towards my face. So this is a whole bunch of damage. This is pretty close to lethal. This is pretty close to lethal my opponent is sending out. We want our Lightning Worm. That's a fine spot for a Lightning Worm. That means these two things are going to trade off. And then we have to decide... Oh no, we don't get to decide anything. We play this, trade off this. We could Torrent Soldier to deal with this. Or we could Uranti Stormshaper. If we don't Torrent Soldier, that means we die to any type of attack pump. And that means we need Uranti Stormshaper to make a Lightning Elemental right here, or otherwise draw us away to finish off Matrix Warden. I think we Torrent Soldier, though. Because if we don't, we're blocking this. We're making some Lightning Worms, which will be good. Then we'll have to overwrite Uranti Stormshaper and hope to dodge a Battle Trick. My opponent isn't going to have Matrix Warden, but they could have any number of other effects. The level 3 Warhound Courser kills us regardless at any point. Mobility kills us regardless at any point. Maybe we just have to hope they don't have it for one turn, so that we can Stormshaper up and make better plays into the future. So we're going to go down to 1 here. And we shall see if that pays off. It means we are going to get a Hive Empress trigger. I don't know. I can't imagine that's going to be super relevant, though. But we shall see. My opponent could also just play 2 level 3 creatures in lanes 2 and 3, and then we also lose. But, like, if they did that, we were going to lose regardless. Alright, Windborn Hellion. I think that means we're not dead. I think that means we're sticking around for another second here. We are going to go down to 1 life point. Oh, my opponent's going to activate this Stormshaper? No, they're going to activate this one, so nothing happens there. We make some Lightning Worms. So that's going to be a positive battle in every lane. We can Wegu's Embrace. Yeah, I don't know why my opponent didn't activate on this one. But Wegu's Embrace means we gain 14. We could even gain more with Grove Huntress, but I think that's probably bad. As much as I wanted to Hive Empress here, I mean, I could still also Hive Empress, though that is probably greedy. Play's gotta be Wegu's Embrace, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We Wegu's Embrace, and then we have 2 plays. We can battle, play Hive Empress. That's going to give our opponent 2 poison. Or we can just play Grove Huntress. That will eat my opponent's Matrix Warden and give us less to deal with on the board. We'll be up at 15. We'll have a full board against my opponent's nothingness. Yeah, that's probably better. So let's replace this pre-combat. I could also have grown this post-combat. That would have also been a reasonable play. But we're just going to go like that. Get us up to 15. We've got Venom Fang to answer Windborn Hellion. Whew. I think we survived. I think we survived after going down to 1 life. Well, we definitely survived for a turn at least. Alright, Ironbound Reinforcements for the trade. Trading off our Lightning Worm. That makes me feel pretty good. And then that is going to die to Magma Hound. Venom Fang gets to trade with Windborn Hellion. Let's see, are there any other weird plays we could make? What if we gave this 6 poison and then traded the dog with it? That would mean we'd get to keep around a Venom Fang blocking on Rageborn Hellion. Right? Because this will take 6 damage plus 12. That's 18. Alright, let's go with that. Alrighty, now we hit them for 27. And we've, like, stabilized in this crazy game. We've got Venom Fang to potentially finish off if they go for a positive battle on Lightning Worm. Looks like they're going to go for a positive battle on Grove Huntress. I didn't see that one happening. Both of these cards also would have traded with level 1 creatures. I can Frost Shatter Strike as well just to clean up the board. I think I'm going to. I think now that we're at 15, we can afford to just protect our life total. So let's go Frost Shatter Strike, finishing off the guy in center lane, and then Venom Fang, finishing off my opponent's Frost Fang. We hit them for 25, put them down to 29, and we be doing it. This looks like a pretty promising spot for us. Nothing too crazy. My opponent's going to get to trade a level 1 creature off with Venom Fang, and then they could positive battle with a level 3, or trade, or chump block. So they go for a chump block on Venom Fang to preserve their life total. We're just going to do the most aggressive play that we can, which is also probably our only play. We hit them for 3, down to 26. Now we've got Hive Empress Lightning Tamer. And I think Hive Empress Lightning Tamer might be the play, finally. We also have Warbringer Uranti Lightning Tamer, if that winds up being a little bit more damage, which, if we have lethal, it could be. Lightning Tamer by itself is 14. Wind Primordial is 10. So altogether that is 24 and just short of my opponent's life total. However, it might still be enough, assuming my opponent trades here. No, they're going to positive battle here with a creature that I do have to deal with, I think. And when I say have to deal with, do I mean get to deal with? Because this lines up perfectly against a Hive Empress. Oh, though before I go committing to a Hive Empress play, I don't actually have Raid. So let's not play Hive Empress. I think let's play Warbringer Uranti. Let's hit my opponent for 18. It's going to put my opponent down to 8, which a Stonefist Giant is almost lethal. Or I could just hit my opponent. I don't have Burnout in the deck. Flame Jet doesn't hit face. Uranti Stormbringer doesn't hit face. This is where things get a little bit dicey. None of these cards are going to get back in the deck. We do have a Shurian Mystic for the next player level. Yeah, this is a little bit dicey here. We could also just Lightning Tamer this right now. I don't think that makes any sense, though. I think I'm locked into this. And I have to block because my opponent's creature's attack is higher than my life points. Just going to put my opponent down to 8. I think I Lightning Tamer. I think the difference between this and Stonefist Giant is pretty negligible, and this allows me to draw Lightning Tamer on the rank up. It means that my opponent just has to hit this turn, and we're not looking so hot. Flame Jet is 5 damage, which can potentially finish off a level 3 on Wind Primordial. Magma Hound is 6, so that can also do some work. My opponent has Burnout plus a block on Wind Primordial. I go to -5. They go to -4. Oh, I'm actually going to go to a little bit more negative than that. But what a crazy close game this has been. Aristocrat, well played and good game. That was a close one. Man. Yeah, that was a really good game. I guess I could have blocked this with Stonefist Giant. That would have been the other thing that I could have done to play around something like Burnout. Though Burnout is a tricky one to play around, obviously, because you don't see it coming until it's too late. That's unfortunate. That was a really close game, though, Aristocrat, and that was a lot of fun. That makes us 2-1 here. So we are going to soldier on. I will be right back. I'm going to grab some water, and then we'll finish up this draft here. Alright, still waiting in the queue here. Looks like I didn't miss anything. Let's see if Aristocrat is on SolforgeLadder.com. Looks like he is not, or at least not at the moment. But yeah, that was a really, really good game. Stonefist Giant lead off. Nothing to see here. I definitely want to go back and watch that game and see if Hive Empress would have worked on that Lightning Worm turn as well. Obviously, you can't really just play and be like totally results oriented there. +10/+10 isn't that bad. Pummel Pack. I don't want to play against Pummel Pack. I don't think I grabbed my Dendrify either. No, we've got Frost Shatter Strike to deal with it. We need Frost Shatter Strike plus a 7 attack creature, or Burnout plus a Steam Sentinel. This isn't going to be pretty. This is not going to be pretty. I can, I guess, Wegu's Embrace now just to race it. Try to gain back some life points. It's not like it's moving or anything just yet, but it's definitely strong. It's definitely going to be good. Uranti Storm Shaper can block it a whole bunch of times, though. Yeah, we got outs. And we might just not die to it either. We've got a card now my opponent might have to trade 2 cards with. Or just a Damara's Pit card. Opponent's played only strong cards here so far. Batterbot. Yeah, my opponent is definitely all in on the aggressive play. Leveled a Matrix Warden. That is a pretty good level as well. So, I can't even Warbringer Uranti to change the course of battle here. That's a little unlucky, so we can go Uranti. Shatter can do a... Oh, you're right, you're right. Yeah, this isn't actually as strong as I thought it was. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Shiratai. I only need Frost Shatter Strike plus 3 more points of damage, like a Stonefist Giant or something like that. Definitely want to play Uranti Storm Shaper here. After that, I have the option of... Oh, well, I pressed Battle, so I guess I'm not playing Ashorian Mystic now. I guess I'm playing Stonefist Giant. And I can play Stonefist Giant here. That means a Lightning Worm finishes off the Batterbot. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Sure. It was kind of silly. Alright, so Frost Shatter Strike plus Wirewood Patriarch takes out my opponent's thing right here, or just if the Lightning Worm spawns right here. Alright, there's the Aegis Wings, and then it's going to be able to go and eat the Uranti Storm Shaper. Now it's got 8 armor. Now I need a 7 attack creature. So... pretty sure I just go Steam Sentinel, Frost Shatter Strike. This won't be leveling the cards that I want to level, but it lets me trade 2 cards for the 4 cards that my opponents put into that, and otherwise I don't see how I'm dealing with it anytime soon. So, let's play our 1-drop, and let's Frost Shatter Strike it up. No matter. We did it. We dealt with our opponent's thing, and we're relatively even on board. We get to rank up first, so we might draw some sweet ones here. Warbringer Uranti. It's probably just going to be Venom Fang. Venom Fang pressures a Loyal Strategist, but it can't kill it. Yeah, so we'll go Venom Fang in 3, trading with Wirewood Ranger, poisoning Batterbot, and then what I'm going to do... So no matter where I put this Stonefist Giant, my opponent's going to be able to use a Loyal Strategist to help kill it. We'll just make it slightly more awkward for them, I guess. So if I put Stonefist Giant here, my opponent gets to... Here and here are pretty much exactly the same plays. It doesn't really matter. Either my opponent can attack a Loyal Strategist into Stonefist Giant, or they could move Stonefist Giant earlier over, and then use the +2 attack to help take out the 8 toughness that it has. Frost Shatter Strike will be able to kill Wirewood Ranger without allowing it to activate. It will also let me finish off this Loyal Strategist, so I'm going to go for that, and then I'm going to play another Stonefist Giant. And we're just going to out-giant our opponent. Nothing too crazy here. Let's just play some Giants, and let's hope they stop playing Giants. I can play another Wegu's Embrace. That's kind of cool. It's not super-duper impressive, but still winds up being a pretty reasonable threat. What else do we have? We've got nothing great in terms of taking out my opponent's Matrix Warden here. So I guess my opponent is going to try to Pummel Pack and Aegis Wings on this. Now, Aegis Wings, I want to double check. Is Aegis Wings then if it has the highest attack? Or is it then if it's your only creature? I think it's then if it has the highest attack. If it has the highest attack. Alright. So their Matrix Warden is going to have the highest attack regardless. Yeah, unless I find another pump spell for my Stonefist Giant. Though, yeah, that won't really work either. So let's just Wegu's Embrace. I think that that's strong enough. Then I think I am going to trade Wind Primordial for Ironbound Reinforcements here. Do I have anything else at 6? I've got Stonefist Giant, I've got Bright Tusk Sower. I guess my problem is I just don't have any ways to answer Matrix Warden. Alright, this plays a little strange, but I'm going to chump block Wind Primordial into Matrix Warden. Just looking at the makeup of the cards in my deck, yeah, I'm much more likely to be able to answer their board state by this play. I guess I did have another Uranti Warbringer in there that I missed, I'll be honest. But, yeah, this puts some damage on it, potentially. Or maybe not. That's also super awkward. Mobility 1 plus 4 is a total of 10. And then I can Magma Hound to finish it off. I think I just take it out. Yeah. I think when your opponent has threats like these, you have to just take them out where you can. And I barely can, but I can nonetheless. So we're going to Warbringer Uranti to pump up the jams. We are getting a rank up here, so ranking up good cards could also be beneficial. But I think just taking out my opponent's threat before they throw even more armor on it. Like, I'd be ranking up Stonefist Giant in hopes to probably, like, trade with that. So let's just take it out, get it out of here, not worry about it. Alright, that I think is going to come over and trade with our Giant, but I'm not sure. Looks like it's not. No, my opponent's going to race us. And wait. Where did my... does the lifelink thing only happen for that one turn? Is this card a lot worse than I thought it was? Where is it even? Should be in the deck. Oh, Wego's Embrace 3. Here we go. This turn. But it gets that ability. That's really confusing. Why would it say... Why would it give the creature that ability? Like, my creature should have that ability. Give a friendly creature. It doesn't say give that ability to them for this turn. Yeah, that's pretty misleading, in my opinion. Well, nothing we can do. We don't have answers for my opponent's cards, so we lose. I was wondering why my life total wasn't continually going up here. Alright, we just play like this and then we die. You get to give him 2 poison, though. Yeah, that's a really confusing wording on that card, for sure. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, the difference between... It could say... Give... Or, okay, start parenthesis. My opponent's doing some weird-ass BM here. So it could say, like, open parenthesis, whenever this creature deals combat damage, you gain that much life, end parenthesis, this turn. But that would also, wouldn't make sense. It just shouldn't be in parentheses, because it's not an ability that you're granting to the creature. Not sure if that makes any sense, but let me see if I can give a and let's go for a spell. So this is in quotes because the creature gets the ability. Let me see if there's any other this turn. That's not an ability. That's not an ability. That's not an ability. It's not an ability. Why does... Oh, this just has the word this and turn in it. Okay, so nothing else even has this wording. But, okay, so here's what I'm suggesting. Currently, well, we know what the current text is. What I think the text should be is, I have to close Solforge to type this, give a friendly... I am suggesting that it be this. Let's center this. I'm gonna have to put a line break in here. Does that make sense? Give a friendly creature +3/+3, and whenever this creature deals battle damage to a player, you gain that much health. There shouldn't be a period there. You gain that much health this turn. Because this turn, you're giving the creature this ability. And you're giving them... Oh, but the +3/+3... No, so you know what then it has to be? Yeah, that does make it sound like it loses the +3. So then what you actually have to do, as weird as this sounds, is... and +3/+3. I think this would then be how you'd solve it. Give a friendly creature, whenever this creature deals battle damage to a player, you gain that much health this turn and +3/+3. It's not super elegant, but... I mean, does the way that it currently works, does that make sense to everybody else? I could just be wrong. Like, maybe this just makes sense to everybody else. I mean, the trick is, it does say this turn. So, it will make sense to people. But, yeah, I mean, I guess if it makes sense... I guess the problem... for me comes up like when this creature deals battle damage to the enemy player this turn, you gain that much health. Versus Oros. Is that not how you spell Oros? Oh, I've got it on spells only. Like, what if Oros just said, when Oros deals battle damage to a player this turn, you gain that much health? Like, if this just said this turn on it, it would mean the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely salt. Not really. I mean, yeah, it's salt a little bit, for sure. But it's also the fact, like, I feel like it's confusing. Yeah, I mean, I guess I should just read better, but I still don't think that, like, if I read that card more times, you just have to play with the card more times. And I drafted the card because I don't own any, and I've never played with it before. And the wording's kind of confusing, but maybe there isn't a better wording. My brain can be a little bit weird sometimes. I'm kind of just curious if anybody else, like, reads a card like that and interprets it the same way, just as an interesting, like, thought experiment, if that makes sense. Why would Oros say this turn? Because it could, and it wouldn't change the meaning to me at all. Like, if it said, when Oros deals battle damage to a player this turn, and I'll give you, because there's also magic cards that say this turn, what are the, does anybody know the name of the uncommon cycle of creatures from original Mirrodin? I think they're called, like... They are creatures that whenever they deal battle damage, and I think they use like a similar wording, which may be why it's like in my head. I can't think of the name of them though. apparently... Oh, that's in the name. Alright, I'm going to search Magic Card Rules text for this turn. That's going to give me way too many things, isn't it? Maybe it won't. It's telling me 0. Okay, now I feel like I'm freaking out. There's no cards that say this turn in Magic the Gathering? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me go back. Sorry, this isn't super exciting right now. I'm also pretty much done for the day. Just so you guys know, I was just going to do this one draft here. Alright, I can't think of the creature that I'm thinking of if none of you guys know it or play Magic the Gathering. But let's say it's from... Mirrodin Block. We'll say it as haste. That should be enough. Let's look at the haste creatures from Mirrodin Block. Oh, okay, apparently this card doesn't say this turn. I thought it did. I was thinking of Slith Firewalker. It says whenever it deals combat damage to a player, but there's like... If this just said whenever it deals combat damage to a player this turn, it would mean the same thing. It wouldn't have to say it, but it would mean the same thing. It doesn't change the meaning of the card, I guess was just the only thing I was saying. And that's what you're doing. You're giving the creature the ability, and the ability just says this turn. It makes sense. If everybody else, like, and the other thing is you play with the card once and then you know what it does. Give a creature... Oh, what if it just wasn't in quotes? If it just wasn't in quotes, maybe that would solve it for me. Because the things that go in quotes are abilities that get granted to the creature. Yeah. Player this turn. Yeah. Okay. That's all I would want from it. Lose the quotes, and I'm happy. Lose the quotes, maybe I don't lose the game. No, I think I still lose the game. I just... I don't know. I'd be less likely to... I mean, the card would certainly be worse, but I would have been less likely to go all in on it. The reason that I played it was I was thinking... Okay, it's going to pump my creature, and I'm going to be able to negate the damage that my opponent is dealing me because I'm going to gain all that life back. So, yeah, a little bit of salt. Not too big of a deal, though, ultimately. Only got 3 online wins. I guess I'll play another game for the day. Try to get another win in. I'll play this deck just to get another event ticket. Is that a quote to like, what did you watch on Twitch today? And your response is, I don't know, some dude who just went off on a tirade about Wegu's Embrace. So, this deck is, I don't really even know what it's doing. It's playing Soothsayer Hermit and Killian, and I know Soothsayer Hermit can only get level 3 creatures, but part of the goal of the deck is to try to play a level 4 creature in rank 3, and hope that's good enough. And then it also has Taliesin and Villian Arbiter to try to... that's like a combo. You get to play free spells, and your opponent doesn't because they only get to play 2 spells. It's just kind of silly. Kind of a silly little concoction here. Nothing too crazy. And a Dreadbolt. Dreadbolt means that our combo isn't too great. So we can block here. I think we just play our... we definitely want to play at least one guy. I could play something else here. Let's see, we block. Kids +1. Yeah, whatever we play here is going to trade, so we could just play Soothsayer Hermit there. Deck's not too great, but it's decently fun. Sometimes it goes off. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Wegu's Embrace Corner. I will give somebody a special prize if they can find... if they agree with me. No. If anybody agrees with me, you get a special prize. No, if anybody can think of the Magic card that... there's some Magic cards that say... I'm just like having a brain block right now that I can't think of it. But there are Magic cards that when you... they say like... if something happens this turn, but it seems the wording on them seems weird. And the wording on the Magic card seems wrong too. But it's what tricked my brain into thinking that the game worked the other way, I guess. I think that was probably the wrong combination of effects there, but no matter. We'll figure it out. So did my opponent actually play this card? Or did... I think they did. I wasn't sure if they, like, stole mine or something. Yeah, I gotcha. If you don't play Magic, then we won't come up with it. This deck could definitely use, like, Ambriel's Edict, or... ooh, that's sweet. They grew my creature by replacing it. That's going to move over there. They make a Grimgaunt Devourer. So we just have to replace 2 creatures, and this will survive. So let's go... can this go into an available space only? Yeah, available space only. So let's go wham, bam, thank you ma'am, and Nova will positive battle. It does mean a lot to me. But, no, I'll offer up a special prize if anybody can prove that I'm not insane here. If anybody knows the Magic cards that I'm talking about, I'll hit you up with some Solforge cards. So now you have some incentive to learn how to play Magic or some shit. And a Dreadbolt on Oros, looks like. Yep. If I replace twice, we take out this Zimus. Or I only have to replace once to take out the Zimus. And I can replace this web and this sapling. So my question is, do I want to play my combo? Not particularly. I don't think the combo is going to be super strong against my opponent here. I think what I just do is play Shardbound Invoker and Ironbound Reinforcements, and I play them pre-combat. Alright, let's do that then. Well, I only have to play the one pre-combat. I could have saved this guy as well. I wasn't sure where Zimus was going to pop up. We'll just play my cards like this. Oh, I guess I didn't need to replace that. That was silly. But maybe it works out. Killian can level Taliesin. Talison's still good at rank 3 because he's not symmetrical. So this will work out. I'm going to edit the stream title to random Solforge rank play. Oh, and I'm gonna take I'm gonna take this text off my screen I just looked over. It must look like I'm even more hell-bent on spreading my agenda of of changing that text around with how long I kept that up there for. That's pretty funny. Does Nova continue to make 1/1s? Yeah. Alright, that's a positive battle. And, like, maybe we win the long game. I'm not sure. But we have a long game and they've got a long game. So that'll happen. I don't really want to just get epidemicked and lose my whole board, so I'm just going to play Killian here. And I will discard, or level up, rather, Taliesin. My opponent hasn't played any free cards yet that I would need to worry about doing anything else. Let's keep the Killians coming. I haven't seen any Soothsayers, so that's kind of unfortunate. I can level Taliesin again, though, and I'm just going to have a... Oh, does Killian show up in the log? I guess it does. Does anybody know that answer? Do you get to see what your opponent Killian's? Or no? Alright, there's the Scythe. Which Scythe actually winds up being fine, I think. Oh, they did have Epidemic as well, so... Played around it. Did it up. Yeah, because Killian wouldn't have even traded with this. Ooh, that's a lot of damage, though. That's a sweet play. Alright, let's just go... Nova. And... Killian. Alright, looks like my opponent will get to see that now I have a Taliesin 3 in my deck. Not that they can really do that much to stop it. They still have Dreadbore. They just have to hope I don't untap with it. And... Drew a little bit unlucky here. I guess I didn't draw super unlucky, but still have 3 leveled up cards in my deck. I also drew like an underleveled hand turn 1. So for how many cards I leveled, got maybe a little bit unlucky. That's fine. Just gonna put this guy down to 4 attack. It'll die to a... or 4 toughness, I meant to say. It'll die to a Shardbound Invoker. I'll want to replace this plant as well. Oh, well, never mind. That's just going to die. Oh, this has 7. So I guess I put Shardbound Invoker here. And then replace this plant with Killian. And what do we have to level? We can level a Roar. Or another Taliesin. Sure. Level another Taliesin, and then I'll play a Shardbound Invoker right here. Yeah, I'm kind of just playing a random deck here because I'm at, like, 1 star. Maybe 2. Oh, I've got 3. So I've played 3 ranked games in the past 19 days. Don't tend to play too many. I don't even know how to get back into the ranked game. Go to the draft page to get back in the ranked game there. But Stick's sweet. Hopefully it will get to do some fun stuff here. We're on the next player level now. We can Shardbound Invoker to trade with this. This guy gets +2/+2, so it would go to 11. 11 is 5/6. So let's go Ironbound. I'll pump up the smaller Nova, and then Shardbound Invoker, pumping up the Ironbound Reinforcements. This will positive battle, it'll move, and my guy should still positive battle that. My opponent will definitely have some battle tricks here, but at least for the current setup, we are set up to positive battle on my opponent's Grimgod Devourer here. And even if they Scythe or something like that, we still put damage on it, which is important. Alright, so my opponent gets a free card at the end of the turn. It's not quite a free card. It's probably not the best way to word that. Oh yeah, Nova has a level 4 too. What does that do? Each friendly creature gets +10/+10. Right, so this one just makes Nova a 15/20, which is still pretty good. And yeah, that's a good trade there. Cool. Looks like we might have just won already, but we'll see. I'll go Nova open lane, Shardbound block, pumping, Shardbound. My opponent's at 13. I've got a bunch of lethal creatures here. Soothsayer Hermit, I don't know why I brought up Soothsayer Hermit. Shardbound Invoker is not quite lethal, but everything else is lethal. So my opponent needs to play some big Epidemics. They do have an Epidemic 2 as well as a Scythe 2 in their deck. That might buy them enough time. Oh, I'm not even sure that does. Kills this, it makes this deal nothing, it makes this deal 2. Trades with this. Oh, Zimus. Zimus is a good one. And then Epidemic 2, that still won't do it either. They'd take 4. Yeah, they're just going to not block this lethal creature. Cool. Oh, right, Zimus. The Zimus trigger could have saved them. No matter. We'll hit battle. And win the game. Look at me, baby. Bronze 2. Let's go. Get our ticket for that. So how many more games would I need to play? 3 more games? I think that's 3 more games, right? Yeah, we've played 5 games. Alright. I'll keep playing here for a little bit longer then. Yeah, I'll just play this random. Same thing. Where's that? Nasty. That's what we call it. Deck is still pretty powerful because it's got a lot of legendary cards in it. The synergies aren't insane by any means, but it's pretty good. It's mostly just trying to get a level 4 Forgeborn, though. That's the idea. And there's much more powerful things that you can do. Probably even more powerful Forgeborns that I could play in it. Is that not how Forgeborn works? Is there a way to just see what cards are Forgeborns? Can I just go like level 4? No, it just has the word level and the number 4 in them. Is there any way to check just which Forgeborns exist? Don't think so. Maybe you could search by creature, or just search for legendary creatures. Right, we'll play Envillian Arbiter and we'll trade off Killian here before anything too crazy happens. We have double Taliesin, which we might be able to play, but it's pretty unlikely. We might be able to go Taliesin Roar, though. Well, this is a positive battle. No, it looks like this is just going to die. But that means I don't have any other plays. Oh, well, now this is going to trade if I roar. Well, I don't really want to Taliesin. I feel like... I don't know what Born in Legend means, Sagrada. This is a pretty awkward play. Fuck it. We'll let this guy win. This guy can beat us if he wants to. Let's play some Talisons. My opponent's going to get to play a bunch of Restless Wanderers here, and definitely fuck our shit up, but this will be fun at least. We'll see if we can come back. My opponent gets to play 4 cards, probably trade with my creatures, and then I'm just like putting myself really far behind, but didn't really have any other viable plays. These are going to trade. This one might not trade. My opponent would have to play 3 Spirit Wanderers. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could make it say only legends and only creatures for filters. And then it's just a matter of looking at them and seeing if there's any more Forgeborns. Oh, I can say Born? Oh, okay, that is gonna get me Forgeborns that aren't... No, this is just from the set. Oh no, but there are Forgeborns here. Okay, this is showing me cards from Imprisoned Heralds as well as Rise of the Forgeborn. Okay. So, looks like green has 2 Forgeborns, red has 2 as well. Black also has 2. Aloyan has 3. Oh, I guess I'm not playing this Ironbeard in the deck yet. So that's really the only card that the deck could potentially be playing that isn't. Alright, how much shit did my opponent play? Okay. They made some work of it. They made some stuff happen here. Varna... Not really sure what they did, though. But that's still pretty good. I guess we just go Uros for the trade-off, and then we Killian and level, I think, Nova we have in the deck. Yep. We're gonna neglect to play one of our Killians there. We can go get it back, though, with Soothsayer Hermit. I wanted to try to trade off with this Grimgaunt Devourer now when I could. My opponent would have to play 3 Wanderers to take this out. Surprised my opponent didn't just play 4 Wanderers on their turn. That's actually what I thought they were going to do. Though this play makes sense if they have these cards in their deck. Because it's not like the Black Wanderers would have done anything there. Black Wanderers shrink the creatures that are across from them. Okay, Direhound, that's pretty good. That can kill Killian or take care of Oros. Oh, and then that's gonna take care of Oros. Alright, that makes sense then. We'll still have Soothsayer and Killian, and my opponent will have a bunch of Restless Wanderers. Alright, this isn't great. This is definitely not great. My opponent can have a full board of Restless Wanderers next turn. Oh, I can't even deal with this. So, battle. I think what you're supposed to do here is just not panic, take 26 damage, and then block the raid guys. Don't know how else we get out of this. There's no Ambriel's Edict in this deck, which is kind of a misbuilt, but this deck's also just like years old at this point. I guess we'll level another Nova. Could come in handy. Cool. This hand's great. This hand will get us right back in the game here. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I think that might be the end of this game. You know what? Yeah, let's concede this game, and let's try to make this deck just a little bit better here. Let's open it up. And let's add in... Ferocious Roar is like kind of cool. Did I just cut an Envillion? I didn't mean to do that. Let's cut these green spells though. This card's also just okay. Then let's add back Envillion. And I guess we'll add an Ironbound Reinforcements back into it. Oh, no. Let's cut Ironbound Reinforcements. It's tricky because I only have one of the other Forgeborn, but he makes your deck bigger. So that's a little bit awkward. I don't love Soulbind in a deck that's trying to like draw 2-card combos. Yeah, you know what? Let's get it out of here. I changed my mind. Soulbind is not what we're trying to work with. And if you only have one of them, I think this card might not even be great. We could put in a Mossbeard. Let's just put Ironbound Reinforcements back in. Seems fine. Maybe Ferocious Roar is a little bit better, but whatever. There's no Relic Scouts in the deck, but I mean, it could be good. I think, like, you kind of just want the deck to be... I mean, Relic Scout is good. Its card's really good with Nova, but I think the deck is just... The whole point of the deck is to try to play a level 4 creature on level 3. The rest of the stuff is just kind of incidental. But... yeah, I'm sure we could make a better deck happen. I don't remember what half these decks are. AU replace... This is when I was trying something different. I was trying to see if this, I guess, was the... This was me trying to see... yeah, this is just like all the replace stuff. So here, I guess, is the more competitive, slightly, version of the deck. We could try that out, though, too. I haven't played any games with that one in a while, but... kind of fun. There's some weird and interesting synergies going on with it. Play an Arbiter. It's probably the worst thing to play, but... oh god. Now we wind up with hands like these where we don't even have enough cards to play. Just gonna wipe clean and then play Invillion Arbiter or something like that. Hopefully my opponent plays, yeah, just like 2 burn spells, but... they did put an Immortal Echoes on themselves. But they're not going to have anything die, right? They have to play a Grave Pact? Is Wipe Clean just better in my deck? I don't know. I can't play Ambriel's Edict to get that out of the deck either. I guess I just make the deck thinner by playing Wipe Clean. It's a silly sequence of plays from me and my opponent. He plays a card that does absolutely nothing, but luckily I had the perfect counter for it. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Trying out some new cards here, though. Ambriel's Edict, I'm pretty sure, just didn't exist when I first made the deck. So, it probably should be in there. We'll play a beneficial effect on my opponent's creatures. Yeah, I think the one thing is a Fiend deck. Let's take a look. Alright, so that's replace. BQ Track 'em Smooth, I know what that is. Burn, we know what that is. Contagion Engine. Oh, okay. So this was like kind of a try at like some kind of weird combo deck. Maybe this was for a... maybe this was for a whatchamacallit tournament? A tribal tournament? Though I'm not sure. But I guess the idea was to... this doesn't, like, go infinite or anything. Like, it's trying to Korok a Contagion Lord. So you can do weird things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that deck was trying to do. What else do we have? Oh, Control Warrior is just when I wanted to play a bunch of Armor Up effects. It's a Hearthstone joke. Doomsling. Just throwing around Doom Wings and Nether Shrieks. That deck's fun. This is for a tribal tournament. This deck's super old. This deck doesn't have any cards in it. Ham Sandwich is just if you want to play against a deck that does nothing. Back when, like... This deck can go infinite. I'm forgetting what I made here. Oh, yeah, okay, so you Sorrow Harvester, and you draw cards with Sorrow Harvester. And then you just keep replaying Contagion Lords. And what do you have to do? You have to, like, exile everything from your deck? That's why there's Burnout and Zithian Direhound in the deck? To make the deck smaller? Seems like a mess. Seems like a mess, but I guess if all your stuff has haste... I mean, the new card would be really good in it, right? Where you just, like, 1 in 3 randomly make all your stuff have haste. Never have I Everflame. Oh, yeah, this is based around Everflame Mystic. This card's sweet. Yeah, it's pretty much just an Everflame Mystic deck with some other good cards. Nether Shriek, Tarsus Deathweaver. Synergy's in there as well, and Varna's Pact. Save anyways, sure. I just made a bunch of new decks by accident. Level Flex, that's just a tier 1 deck. And then Wegu Level is just the same deck. Alright, we could try that out then. For a little bit here. Sorry, Trent, for making you wait. I totally forget what's even going on in this match. That's what's going on. My opponent, I think, stole my Anvillian Arbiter. Which is fine. These are going to trade. Alright, and we'll play another Anvillian Arbiter for them potentially to trade. Alright, if our Taliesin survives, then we get to play 3 on-level creatures and... Oh no, we have to kill this Anvillian Arbiter too. I forgot about that. That stops our own combo. Well, luckily we drew level 2, so we can just eat on this. Or eat this up, rather. I forget how this works. I think my opponent does get to... I think they do get to level an additional card. They just don't get to play an additional card. This deck is the perfect counter to... I don't even know what that card does. They just buffed it a little bit, right? It, like... The card's really weird. It's got a lot going on, I remember. But I don't know exactly what it is. Just try to play more than one spell. Or more than 2 spells. Yeah, I don't own any. Yeah. He's real weird. Right, he replaces himself with the next one. He's like a Night Gaunt. But he's a Night Gaunt that levels up. And then... the last one, the regen... Looks like he just has regen 10. He loses the ability to gain more regenerate. But if you can regenerate any health off of him... I guess you're really just playing him so that on player level 1, you can get the player level 2 version. That's basically what you're going for. Yeah, I knew he got buffed recently, but he's still kind of like a weird card. Which is cool. Cards like that are cool. Cards that don't necessarily just, like, have the stats to get you there. I can dig that. Soothsayer, I don't think we have anything in the discard pile for us to grab. We can grab a Shardbound Evoker, but we already had that. I'll just play this thing. Is this the level 1 Fellwalker? Or the first half of it? Looks like it. So glad we have these Ambriel's Edicts in the deck now for when our opponent's decks get too crazy. That's why originally there were Lycian Sards and shit in the deck, because for the most part you're the one that does the snowballing, not your opponent. Alrighty. Let's just go like this. This deck isn't like super fun or doing anything too crazy, but it's reasonable. And we might be able to live the dream. We've leveled a few Killians here. The dream is, of course, to draw Killian and play a level 4 creature. Ooh, cool. My opponent's slowing us down some. That's what we need. We need them to slow us down just enough that we have to do our combo. And we also got this combo going on, so we're doing some cool shit. Why does this card keep shrinking? Do they play something on it? I must have missed something, I'm not sure. Don't really want to block the Murderous Necromancer. Just block Taliesin with this. And I guess I'll overwrite Oreo. Alrighty, so can I do anything super weird here with the fact that I get to play 3 spells? Doesn't look like it. Right, I can... It's like almost a trade, not even. I maybe want to Ironbound this. I'm going to want to replace Taliesin anyways, so let's go like this. Growing wide doesn't really help us because my opponent has a bunch of... I guess this would be the sweet play that I could do if I wanted to play Ironbound Reinforcements. I can play it, get it back, and then play it again. And like put it in front of the Spirit, but I just don't think I have to do that here. Let's play a big Oreo. Oh, my opponent's at... Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if they were just discarding their hand. It looked like it was shrinking, though. No, I think it was shrinking, because wasn't it a level 2 Arbiter? I guess I can check the log. Deals 7 damage to Necroamoeba. Yeah, it dealt 7 damage to Necroamoeba, so it was that one, but it kept getting less and less attack. Triggers and Villian Arbiter. Yeah, they both triggered. Why did it only deal 3? Oh, it only dealt 3 because they Sonic Pulsed. Okay, nothing crazy happened. Just normal gameplay. Nothing to see here. I guess we play Talisins and our opponent will make some crazy shit happen. Do we have lethal? 7 plus 3 is 10. Nope. Yeah, I guess the trigger was just from the hand shrink or hand discard, whatever. Did I say shrinking their hand? I might have. Alright, Spirit Cleave to gain some life points. And then do they have another... that's tricky. Yeah, because the first card that they play has to be the one that kills the Arbiter for them to get the extra triggers. So, yeah, at this point, I think they're just dead to what's on board. Maybe they could Dreadbolt. They take 6. No, well, that's not going to be good enough. They're going to take 10 and not kill my guy. Gonna take 16 here, go down to 11. And then I've got a bunch of lethal shit. Cool. Alright, for our last game here, yeah, we got one more. Let's play either Contagion Engine or the more potentially competitive version of this deck that is like an equally crazy deck. This deck's still crazy. You know what? I'll play one game with both of them. Let's end on the good note, though. Because I think that this is going to... Oh, I guess I didn't leave quick enough. Alright, never mind. We're starting with AU Replace. This is like a pretty similar deck to what we just used. We're playing against the same guy. I don't know what the priority levels are at all. I mean, Nova seems to make a lot of sense, right? Part of the idea, I think, was that Relic Hunter is sweet with Kataru Sprite. We'll just play Nova. So this deck has no Killian in it. Oh yeah, that was the other thought. Now my opponent is playing a Necreum deck. So Shardclaw Crusher, Relic Hunter. This card got buffed, and like, it's actually a pretty solid card now. Has anybody ever just Shardclaw Crushered and Relic Huntered? That just makes a 15-15. So 15-15 breakthrough. So that's pretty sweet, right? That's good. Is that good enough? 5 plus 5 is 10. So if we replace twice, we get to positive battle. Do you say someone did that, Peon, because you've done that? I believe it. I mean, this seems sweet. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. So Dendrify is in the deck as a removal spell. If you can Dendrify them, but you can also Dendrify your Shardclaw Crushers. Okay, so this is actually just a deck now. Whoops. I'm sure it's not quite like this. Yeah, the deck is kind of dumb, but, like, it's also kind of cool how, like, the synergies kind of work out with it. But, yeah, you can Dendrify a Shardclaw Crusher. Spirit Cleave, no fair. And when you do that, my opponent's going to get their Necroamoeba right back here. Oh, and I guess you're supposed to Soothsayer your Relic Scouts. You can also Soothsayer a Shardclaw Crusher, but I only have 2 plays this turn. Oh, and you can Relic Hunter Taliesin. Oh, okay. Relic Hunter has a little bit more synergies than I thought he did. He's pretty good. I guess we just Relic Scout, and I kind of want to kill this Oozling so that my opponent just has less good cards for them to return. So we Soothsayer Hermit. And I don't think I have to care about any of these cards. I think... Oh, though Justicar's pretty good. Maybe we do want to level Justicar instead. Alright, let's level Justicar, actually. Alright, this deck kind of is making some things happen. Yeah, okay. We drew all of our Relic Scouts, which I think is like one of the keys to winning, right? Draw all Relic Scouts. Flesh Fiend, well, we've got the answers for that. And that's not going to take out our guy. So if Taliesin takes 6 damage, we just don't want Invilian Arbiter to have the highest toughness, because then they can kill it. So we put the Relic Scout on Taliesin. and then Taliesin will have the highest toughness. And then next turn we start replacing stuff. Alright, there's something happening here. Stick's a little strange, but we're making something work. Yeah, I don't want Invilian Arbiter to have the highest toughness, because then they can Spirit Cleave it. So I guess where we can play around that, we do. Tarsus trades with Justicar. Looks like that was a pretty good one there. Then I've got Dendrify, Lycian Shard. I get to play all of these cards, don't I? You get to play my whole hand because Relic Scout's free, and then I get one more free card. Unfortunately, I don't have Dendrify Relic Scout combo, or Dendrify Justicar combo, but I can also Dendrify my Relic Scout. Not sure if that's good enough. But it is something I can do. How many creatures would I have to replace to make this spirit die and Nova survive? I don't think I can do it. Yeah, I'm gonna make some weird plays happen here. That's just sweet, right? Alright. And then we'll play that. Yeah, there's just a lot of weird synergies going on with this deck. It's kind of fun. There, I don't think it wants Harbinger of Spring in it, but Harbinger of Spring would be interesting. It's just a dumb aggro deck. Alright, the Sonic Pulses. Alright, I get to play 3 cards, and don't really have the spaces for any of them. Oh, I forgot about Justicars. I guess I just play 2 beefy Justicars. I could also play another Invilian Arbiter, which I think might be good too. Let's do like this. That should be enough. Alright, and right on time, that was indeed enough. I do think I'm going to call the stream there for today, guys. I got my 8 games of the day in. I'm going to go have some dinner now, but thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that follow button below the stream, going to YouTube, hitting that subscribe button, all that stuff really does help. And it lets me know that you are enjoying the content and want to see more. Also, if anybody wants to PM me or can think of it right now to let me know what magic card I was talking about earlier that has the confusing text that made me confused with Wegu's Embrace. Otherwise, I'll let that go until the next time we see Wegu's Embrace in the draft and just pass it up. Not going to be streaming tomorrow, but I brought it up just for the lulz there, Hagrada. Not going to be streaming tomorrow. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to find some balance between playing Solforge and playing Magic Online Vintage Cube drafts. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I know I definitely want to get some Vintage Cube in because that is always sweet. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you had fun.
I know I was a little bit salty, but that's all in good fun too. And hopefully you were able to laugh through my salt there. Otherwise, we're all good. Is Peon, were you going to stream? And if you're going to, I don't really even know. Like, I think there's a way to just host people so that everybody from my stream goes over to yours. But I don't know how to do that. That would be good information to know, though. You are about to stream? Alright, I'll stay on here for another second then. And if somebody also wants to tell me what buttons I have to press in order to make that happen, Peon, if you know, though, that would be sweet. I'll send these guys your way. I mean, I'm sure they'll know how to do it regardless, but might as well. I think it's good practice. I'll just get on the Googleizer there. Okay, looks like yeah, just type it in chat. Cool. I will wait to do that until you give me the thumbs up emoji. And I guess I'll play one more game here while you're firing up. I might just stop this game halfway through. We'll play Contagion Engine and see if we can make anything weird happen with this. This deck's a little crazy. I think it is like merely a thought experiment and there's no way it can actually work. But you just play a control... You level up the cards you need to, which are Korok. And then on player level 2, you play a control-y game. Shallow Grave might have to get leveled too. Alright. Let's see if we can make this happen. Alright, well, Korok is the card we want to level, and do we level Sorrow Harvester? Oh, we only get to play one card. I forgot how Solforge works. One Dr. Frankenbaum is the win condition for the entire deck. Of course. Sand looks pretty terrible, though. I guess we just Shallow Grave our Korok here. This deck could probably also use Animal Companion in it. That might let you win on, like, turn 2. Alright. Bin Ben, Ice Grasp. Get the trigger. So we can level Frankenbaum. Or we can just burn out my opponent's thing right now. Not have to deal with it. We might still level Frankenbaum either which way. Yeah, let's just burn out Bin Ben, because I don't want to deal with it. And then I'll still play Frankenbaum. Spirit Cleave is a reasonable one, too. All the cards in this deck seem fine. And it's just kind of... I guess it's just a control deck with a weird win condition instead of a reasonable win condition. Alright, they go Bin Ben, they go Ice Grasp, and they trade off Bin Ben. That thing gets out of here. Huh. What do we do? This says overload. I don't think I want to play these. I don't want to play any of these cards. What do I do? I guess I just overload some cards. Does Burnout hit level 2 Bin Ben and kill him? Oh, it's level 3 Bin Ben and kills him. Holy shit. Alright. We'll get the Undying Legacies out of our deck then. Okay, so we can make some weird things happen with Susie here. Susan can turn Dr. Frankenbaum into 3 Dr. Frankenbaums right now. We could also play Sorrow Harvester and draw some cards. We could play Ebon Skull Knight, rank up, and immediately lose our Ebon Skull Knight. I don't know. If somebody can figure out what the hell I'm doing, let me know, please. Alright, my opponent played an Invilian Arbiter. No, just Invilian Arbiter showing up here. Alright, that was just a bug. Alright, my opponent played all their Ice Grasps. So we don't have Forever. And they play a double Storm Spear. This is fine. We're actually winning on damage, though my opponent has just done a lot of setup stuff. I think there's a chance we do want to play Sorrow Harvester. Another friendly creature. If you do, spawn a copy of it. I don't really know what this does. Let's just play it. Maybe it's important to the deck. I mean, it is level gated. It might be important. Who knows? I could have also reset an A-bomb after combat. This is also like just kind of an aggro deck. My opponent's just hypo. I guess my opponent's really just a burn deck. Oh shit, all my stuff. I liked that stuff. I will say I am not still winning. This is just going to be a really close game, isn't it? Whoever... Yeah, this game's going to be close. And I think it actually, in a weird way, wound up benefiting me that I played this deck against my opponent. Like, they're going to clear my board regardless. At least this way, I've got some aggressive creatures, and my A-bombs hit them for some damage. Alright, maybe we can start to go off now, right? We play 2 Contagion Lords. We sack Progeny of Zith a bunch of times. Deal them a bunch of damage. Hit them with Progeny of Zith. Play Spirit Cleave on Bin Ben. Nah, they're going to Wrath us. If they threw the Static Shock at Koruk and not at our face, that means they have the kill for Koruk. And it's a double Shatterbolt. Other than the burnout. Okay, they just wanted to put some damage on Koruk. So... let's play these. Oh, I fucked up. Oh well. Alright. We'll activate this guy on himself. Play this. Yeah, I fucked up a little bit there. And that's fine. No matter. Probably won't be relevant. I don't know what I'm saying. It's definitely relevant. Though my opponent might kill us here anyways. Like, they might kill all of our stuff here anyways, in which case it was a moot point, whatever we did. Alright, so they're going to play Bin Ben. They're going to Static Shock. Flame Lance is pretty good. going to kill our board. We didn't get the right trigger with the Progeny of Zith. So what do we do? Guess we just make a bunch of creatures now. I don't know. My opponent, I think, is just going to... like, if they just Firestorm, we lose all of our stuff anyways. But it means they can't get in with any aggressive things, most likely. They'd have to get their triggers here and also clear out our creatures. So this is all pretty weird, but we're doing something. What did they Flame Lance? They Flame Lanced this. And they're going to Flame Lance that again and hope to get their Lightning Elemental there. It misses. But the onus is on me here to try to deal some damage to my opponent. Drew Ebon Skull Knights on the rank up yet again. So I guess we'll just play Sorrow Harvester. Pretty close game. My opponent has to... Let's see, if they play 2 spells... So they only need to hit us for 3. So if they play a Flame Lance and another spell, they win. Otherwise, I might have it. Highest health among all creatures. So maybe I could... Frankenbomb... Ceruzel. It's going to be a little close. I have to imagine they're going to win, though. Alright, Burnout will do it. That'll put me down to 1. Now all they have to do is have a Tempest spell in their deck. And they found it. So, good game. I'm going to send you guys over to Peon now. Thank you guys very much for watching. And hope you enjoyed it. Again, Twitch, YouTube... all that jazz. Have a good one. Peace.